Welcome to Saturday night. It's darts night and it is the week 3 finals starting right here. We have 2 groups for you, 3 players in each group, and of course 2 will go through from each group to make up our semi-finalists, and then we will find out the 3 players that will go forward to week 5 into Champions Week. We're going to start tonight with Niall Culleton up against Mike Warburton. Niall Culleton won Group A. Mike Warburton made his way through very smoothly in Group B last night, so he has been playing on Saturday already. He played early this morning. He lost his last game, but he did show some incredibly good form. As far as Niall is concerned, he has had a couple of days off. He did not play on Thursday or Friday, so he is going to be feeling fresh, you would feel. But is that something he can use? I suppose time will tell. Mike Warburton is now playing his 6th day in succession. And if anything is to go by from last night, you have to say that he is getting better and more consistent by the day. But when you only play 2 games in each group, the first match is very, very important. But not the end of the world if you do lose it. I suppose the message is, if you lose your first game in the group, make sure you get lots of legs along the way. The guys down in the practice room are just finishing up their practice routines now, but it will be our first look at Niall since Wednesday. We have some other great players for you tonight, the likes of Paul Hogan, Greg Richie, and some others to come along the way. But the purpose, of course, in the early part of tonight is just to give yourself a big lift by potentially winning your first match. We're going to make our way down to the room now. And as you can see, Niall Culleton is wearing one of his new shirts. Saw him earlier and I said, is that Niall I can see, or is it Dwayne Johnson with the tattoo style shirt? But the man from Kilkenny in Ireland, he's done a fabulous job this week. Job done in Group A. And as far as Mike is concerned, the Group A champion from week 3 in phase 1, he didn't get through Group A, but what he did do was get through Group B. Other players on show tonight, the table topper from Group C, Conan Whitehead, he will take his place in Group 2 with Paul Hogan and Jamie Clark. The other competitor in this group with Niall and Mike is Greg Richie of Scotland.
Okay, first leg, it's Niall to throw first. Game on.
So these two have played each other this week on 3 occasions. All of those matches took place in Group A, of course. Niall
99.
is winning that head-to-head by 2 games to 1. It is conceivable, of course, that these two could play in tonight's final. Because if they both get through the group,
100.
they will go into different semi-finals, and if they both win their semi-final, they will play again. I suppose that is something that both of these players would now
95.
take. We already have 6 players guaranteed for a place in Champions Week.
60.
Martin Adams won week 1. Colin Osborne won week 2 7 days ago. But they are joined
100.
in week 5 by Chaz Barstow, Scott Marsh, Joe Davis and Jared Cole. And after we put 3 more names into the week 5 hat, we will make our way to week 4,
59.
which will be chaired by Chris Mason. And he will have a lot of experience in week 4.
55.
At the start of the next leg, I will let you know who is coming next week. If you didn't manage to catch the Saturday finals pre-show, where we revealed the
83.
names for next week, we can
Niall,
go
you
through them
require 152.
in a few moments' time. Niall Culleton has made the better start.
28.
But he hasn't really used it there. Now, Warby yesterday, when playing, started extremely brightly. He averaged 94.75
25.
in his first game last night against Lee
Niall, you
Cox.
require 124.
And he finished that game with an 11 darter. Bullseye.
99.
And a narrow miss that maybe Niall will rue in a second, because he didn't have to go for the bullseye. Could have laid up for 3 darts at a chosen double. Maybe he
98.
didn't know where Mike was sitting in the leg.
Niall, you require 25.
He's now on a finish. Double 10.
Game shot on the first
That's
leg.
really good from Niall, because earlier in the week the combination shots weren't working too well, but as the week grew older, he started to get the hang of those things. A really good start here for Niall.
Second leg, it's Mike to throw first. Game on.
So week 4, we will have Group A on Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday, starting at 9:30 a.m.
100.
That will involve Kevin Burness, Ritchie Burnett, Robert Thornton, Sean MacDonald of Scotland, Keelan Kay,
81.
and with all due respect to all of the players in that group, we say hello to John O'Shea, the reigning World Master.
60.
Can't wait to see John here. It's been a long time coming. As for Group B, which will involve 3 of those
60.
players I've just mentioned, who are taken from the bottom half of that group come Wednesday, Rob Collins and James Richardson will return, alongside Mark Webster.
60.
That is the other big name coming in for the first time. Group B will take place on Sporty Stuff TV and via the Online Darts
45.
YouTube channel on Thursday and Friday nights from 10 p.m. Group C will involve Aaron Monk, Rhys Robinson and Corinne Hammond. So they will await places 2 and 3 from Group A come
60.
next week. These two are taking a little bit of time to find their best. Maybe a bit of early finals nerves, which
135.
isn't such a bad thing when your opponent is feeling the same. Earlier tonight, Warby was very adamant that he has
60.
to make Champions Week. You don't want to put too much pressure on yourself. You want to be able to play and not think too much.
75.
And Niall has got himself in
Mike, you
position to
require
win
161.
this leg against the throw. If this 161 does not go, it still could. No longer.
137.
So what does Niall do from 105? Lots of options
Niall,
here.
you require 105.
15 tops then.
Game
That
shot
is
on
a
the second leg.
very tidy
Niall
checkout. And
Culleton.
there's a little bit of swagger about that one. That was probably the most difficult way to get it. But that's the first break of throw, and he is halfway to his first 2 points of the night.
Third leg, it's Niall to throw first. Game on.
They have been used to playing in a group format all week. In Niall's case,
85.
5 matches per day in a group. This group is 2 matches. Half the distance of what Mike was playing the last 2 nights. So the urgency factor
100.
is magnified massively. There are many intricacies with this group format on finals night.
140.
But like Martin Adams showed in week 1 in phase 2, just a couple of weeks ago, if in doubt, just win all of your matches.
100.
And you will sail through. It's Culleton that has made the move.
100.
That 105 has given him a little bit of confidence, because this is his best scoring leg so far. When he's got to the doubles, he's taken them. First 180 of the match comes from Mike Warburton, though, and well timed. Gets him to the finish first.
60. Mike, you require
He will feel
121.
that if he doesn't hit this, Niall's going to go 3-0 up. Bullseye for his first leg of the night.
76.
Now he has to hold his breath
Niall, you require 160.
and pray that another ton plus checkout is not found. But he's got problems because it's tops again.
96.
And that was a very, very big chance.
Mike, you require 45.
This will be Mike's first shot at a double in the match.
5.
And unfortunately, those two misses
Niall,
could
you
signal
require 20.
a 3-0 lead for the Irishman, who has beaten Warburton twice this week. And he's very close to a third.
Niall Culleton.
3-0 up in this best of 7 match. And as he came into tonight's play, if you'd have offered him this, he would have said, yes, please. This is a dream start.
Fourth leg, it's Mike to throw first. Game on.
Average of 84. High out of 105. 50% on doubles.
140.
It's tidy. But you know what they say, good enough is always good enough.
60.
You don't care if your average is 64. As long as you get the points. But I was saying a little earlier, if you do lose your first match,
123.
don't lose it by a margin. Lose it 4-3. Give yourself a chance when it comes to the leg difference.
140.
This is from Group 1. We will go to Group 2 with the next match, which is Conan Whitehead against Jamie Clark. And then we come back in match 3 to this group, where Niall Culleton could be throwing against Greg Richie to solidify his place in the semis. If indeed we can't separate the players in a group from points, we'll look at leg difference. And then we will look
99.
at legs 1. We could, if they're all tied up, because it was very much like that a couple of weeks ago, we could have to look at average, which is going to keep our statisticians on their toes.
100. Mike, you require
This to save the match. Early in the session on Saturday night, this is very urgent. Double 12.
Game
That
on the
is
fourth
very,
leg.
very good indeed.
Right, Warburton.
When you are 3-0 down and your opponent is on 120, something very similar to what he's taken already in the match, to pull out that kind of finish, that takes guts.
Fifth leg, it's Niall to throw first. Game on.
But it's only one cog in the wheel. He needs another 3.
140.
Doesn't help when your heavyweight opponent, the winner of Group A, starts with a 140. He's forcing you to do the same.
100.
Throughout Group A, Niall
81.
bagged 11 wins, 4 losses, a running average of just under 85, with 16 maximums. A high finish for 120.
97.
And he was exactly 1 out of 3 on his doubles. So far tonight, he
85.
has bettered that statistic by some margin. He was the biggest 180 hitter in Group A, alongside Jamie Clark, who plays in the next match. But the person
45.
with the best 180 ratio this entire week was eliminated last night. Fallon Sherrick, who over the course of the last 2 nights picked up 15 maximums
129.
in just 8 games. She's not here. Niall is and is doing a very good job.
99. Niall requires 66.
Treble 10. And it's tops once more. That gives him his first match dart.
46.
He will likely be back.
Require 160.
But Mike could take this. He may have to rely on a favour from
42.
Niall in game 3. Because if he beats
Niall
Warby here
20.
and he beats Greg Richie, it will be a shoot-off
Game
in
shot
that
and
game
the
later
match.
with Warby
Niall
and Greg
Culleton.
Richie. And that has been a dream start for Niall Culleton. It hasn't been his best game of the week, but it was extremely efficient. An 87.26 average. As you can see, 57% on his doubles. A very strong start indeed. He is only one more performance away from the semi-finals. Very, very strong from the Group A winner. We're going to take a short break now, and when we come back, Jamie Clark of Scotland, who topped Group B, will be making his bow against Conan Whitehead. That's game 2 after the break. Action from Group 2 will now commence as we see Jamie Clark and yesterday's confirmed champion from Group C, Conan Whitehead, take his bow tonight. Welcome back to everybody tuning in on Sporty Stuff TV and, of course, everybody across the world via the YouTube page of Online Darts. So let's get cracking in this one. Welcome back to Conan in the black and white, his favourite colour combination. Up against Jamie Clark, who is playing his 6th consecutive day, very similar to Mike Warburton. But if he goes the same way as Warby in his first match tonight, he could be in just as much trouble as the man from North Wales. This fella from Kent, a very, very capable player, and was undoubtedly the best player in Group C. 2 days of action.
First leg, it's Jamie to throw first. Game on.
8 wins he got from 10 matches. Very, very capable.
93.
But it has to be said, as well as Conan did play at times, there's still a lot in the tank. And if he brings some of what's left in that tank, like he has just shown there, with his 11th 180 of the week, Jamie could be in trouble.
58.
But looking at their running averages over the last couple of days, which I think are more applicable than including Jamie's averages from Group A in the first 3 days of the week.
79.
Conan's running average of 84 is less than Jamie's from the last couple of nights, where his is around 87. When I got back to the hotel last night and bumped into Jamie Clark, he asked me, who topped our group? And I said, you did.
85.
He had no clue. He knew he was through, but he didn't know he topped the group. Will that give him another measure of confidence
99.
coming into this challenge?
You require 157.
Conan has taken the darts very quickly. 77 left. And he leaves double 10 after 12.
Jamie require
A very, very hot start. Treble 18 for Bull. Would have been
132.
the biggest finish of the week.
Conan, you require 20.
Can't afford to miss this.
Game
And
on the
doesn't.
first leg.
Conan
Whitehead
Whitehead with a 13 darter to start his night. That is a break of throw. And in this tight Group 2, he may have just sent down a marker.
Second leg, it's Conan to throw first. Game on.
Take note, Paul Hogan, who is the third player in this group. We will see him for the first time in match 4 of the evening,
125.
where he will play Jamie Clark for the third time in 3 nights, searching for his first victory against the Scot as well.
83.
It is Jamie who is looking for his first win against Conan.
45.
They've played previously, and Conan has won both of them.
100.
That was a while ago, though. That was back on the 15th and 16th of April.
100.
Seems like a long time ago.
137.
Since Jamie Clark made his bow in this year's Online Darts Live League, he has gained experience and also gained a new level.
140.
Instead of hanging around that 83, 84 average all the time, he's starting to find an extra level. Last night, he got his
96.
first ton plus average
You require
in a match.
91.
And that was against Lee Cox, averaging 101.37. But it's 84 left for Conan.
39.
He's tidily
Jamie
positioned
require
if Jamie
85.
Clark can't find this 85. Things are getting tricky. And he doesn't get a shot at a double from 85.
49.
That is a mistake.
Conan, you require 52.
But it's a mistake that Conan will welcome. Double 16.
Game shot on the
Very,
second
very
leg.
good in the outer
Conan
ring when he
Whitehead.
gets there. That's the kind of darting prowess that he can possibly do. When he gets there, he wields the axe. Does Conan 2-0 up?
So look, it's Jamie to throw first. Game on.
I know that Andy Hamilton, known as the Hammer, has walked on the Premier League dart stage with an inflatable hammer. Or something that looked inflatable. It might have been just a light-weighted construct of Thor's hammer.
94.
But with a nickname like Conan, I suppose he'd have to walk up there on a big stage with some sort of fake sword or axe.
140.
I learned over the last couple of days that he is a Welling United fan. Just when you think that
45.
all of the people you know are Premier League football fans, you get Conan who loves his Welling United. I like that.
91.
This hasn't been Conan's leg so far, but it's been his match.
98.
In the 2 wins that he has had over Jamie Clark,
130.
the averages are wide apart. The first time they played, Conan averaged 96. The second time was only
94.
75. That was a bit of an off day, but he still got the win. I don't think he's going to win this third leg.
44. Jamie require
So for
36.
his first leg of the night, nice marker.
80.
Just a bit messy. And that's what Conan was not doing in the first couple of legs. Has to go bullseye now.
50.
Sensible. Leaves 170.
Jamie require
It
80.
should be the end of leg 3.
Game shot on the
And it
third
is.
leg.
Double 9
Jamie Clark.
gives him a 16 darter, but he still has lots more work to do. Conan Whitehead is in command here, and if he can win this fourth leg, a very, very good start
Like it's
is
Conan
imminent.
to throw first. Game on.
Experienced dart players, of which Conan is one, they understand, as he gets his second maximum of the match, that if you get that vital break early, all you have to do is hold from here.
60.
That last leg lost, he will understand, did not hurt his chances of winning this match, because it was on Jamie's throw. Now, there is no defence in darts.
60.
There's just calculated offence. And when Conan hit that maximum to start the fourth leg, that was as if to say to Jamie,
96.
you're not going to break me. And he's in again. Someone who has averaged 115
140.
in a PDC ranked match. When you can do that, you have a lot of talent.
140.
6 starts from 121 will give him a 3-1 lead.
121.
A position that Niall Culleton had against Mike Warburton in match 1.
43.
Well, that wasn't ideal. That treble 1 just scuppered all of his hopes of leaving a favourable double after 12 darts. The pressure could come here.
99. Conan, you require 78.
Treble 18. Found. Double 12.
Gauge
Found.
on the fourth leg.
Still
Conan
very,
Whitehead.
very good on the doubles. He's not missing a great deal on the outer ring, is he? Conan is closing things up very, very easily. Jamie Clark in all sorts of bother in match 1 for him.
Fifth leg, it's Jamie to throw first. Game on.
That was a little bit unfair on Conan there.
97.
I knew he was on 100% on the doubles. I didn't give him the credit he deserved. We did actually see that twice last night, where
85.
a player had finished the match with 100% on doubles. The second person to do so was Lee Cox. 4 hits from 4.
121.
An average of 92.49 in beating finalist Paul Hogan. But it was Paul Hogan who had 100% on doubles in match 2. The problem was he only got 2 legs. And who did he lose to? This guy.
180.
That's Jamie's first maximum. And yet again on his throw, he is playing supremely well. But that's not his biggest problem.
99. Jamie require
The next leg
103.
is his biggest problem. Lovely
87.
leave of double 8. It's almost like he gave Conan a bit of a head start.
140. Jamie
Question
requires
is
16.
Conan going to use it? Still double 8.
Game shot
It's
on
no
the fifth
longer
leg.
double 8. That's
Jamie
a really
Clark.
nice answer from Jamie, but the biggest test is about to happen. If he can win this match from 3-1 down, I think it says a lot about where Jamie Clark's game is at.
6 legs,
Conan
Conan to throw
serving for
first. Game
4-2.
on. 58.
Speaking to one of our statisticians a little bit earlier tonight, they were saying just how good Conan had been on the switch to the 18s this week. I concurred with that.
43.
But even when he comes up with a trebleless visit, he is not punished when he throws first in a leg.
60.
He again offers Jamie Clark a way out. And just think if Conan had found 2 140s here,
57.
the door would be ready to be shut. Needs a treble. Just for
60.
breathing room, if anything else. And even when he's only come up with 178 points in the first 3 visits, he could well be still in command.
41.
And he is. Jamie Clark has not played well on his opponent's throw, but has played well on his, aside from 1 leg in leg 2.
45.
How many chances does Conan want to give Jamie? This will frustrate the living skittles out of himself. He knows that after 12 darts
60.
thrown, he could be sitting on something like 61 right now and ready to close this match out. He finds a perfect 60 finally. And he's going to blast it. In she goes.
180.
And just like buses, there's nothing in 12 darts, but then 3 at once.
140.
Back comes
Conan
Clark.
require 98.
Not over yet. Double 19 if he chooses, but he decides to split.
66.
And it's the first missed double of the match.
Jamie require
from Conan Whitehead.
160.
Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Tops to save the match. What a big double this is.
120.
That was his chance. An incredible
Conan
effort
require
to try
32.
and give himself that option. Big dart for the match.
Game shot out
He
the
only
match.
misses 1
Conan
double in
Whitehead.
the entire game, and that is basically the story behind that whole match. Jamie Clark played well on his throw, but overall, Conan Whitehead, with the slightly lesser average, was better. The 80% checkout rate, that was the settler. Well, we're going back to Group 1 now. It's Greg Richie who will play his first match of the night up against Niall Culleton, and if Niall wins this one, He's already in the semi-finals. We'll be back just after this. Back to the action, and match number 3 is about to commence. Greg Richie will take his first bow of the evening, but the worrying thing for him is whoever is leading the head-to-head stats in these games coming up seems to be winning. Greg, representing Scotland alongside Jamie Clark this evening, will be hoping to do what Jamie could not do in match number 2. But the Irishman from Kilkenny, the 33-year-old Niall Culleton, has done a fabulous job to start his night, taking out the dangerous Mike Warburton.
Game on.
Now, as far as Group 1 is concerned, we have Culleton on 2 points and a leg difference of +3.
57.
Warby, -3, no points. The state of play in this group will be very clear
60.
Come the end of this match. Now, if Niall Culleton does win this, he's assured of winning Group 1. And he would play in semi-final number 1.
139.
But if Greg Richie wins this match, by whatever margin, we would have to go to leg difference. And the result of match number 5 between Warburton and Ritchie. And then look at the permutations from there. But this week so far, these guys have played each other 3 times. All of the matches in Group A, which was won by Culleton. And because Greg Richie finished bottom of that group,
100.
It doesn't take a scientist to work out what happened. Culleton won 4-0, 4-0, 4-2.
100.
He really did have the measure of the wee man from Musselburgh. I was definitely put
95.
right a couple of hours ago by Greg Richie, who told me he is 5'6", not 5'3". So apologies for that, Greg. But what he was looking at there was the 5'8" bullseye, because that's how high it is off the floor. That's 14.
Yep, 118 left. 32.
And as much as I'm not an advocate for going 18s first on 118, I can understand why he did that. Niall is not going to take
66.
an early break unless he gets an error from Greg. But he has positioned himself brilliantly in case that happens. 2 double tops. Earlier in the week, he took out a 120 to win a match
80
by hitting 3 double tops.
Now we require 40.
I think with all due respect to everybody, that was the highlight of the week.
On the first
but Niall is unstoppable tonight already. Incredible stuff. All you got to do is just look back and admire. Niall Culleton is winning almost every leg he plays.
Second leg, it's Niall to throw first. Game on.
Had a nice chat with Niall on Thursday. We were talking about the mentality of the game, and that
96.
Actually throwing darts in a room like this is only half the battle. The other battle is what you do when you're not throwing. Just think about snooker for
93.
a second. You could spend more time sitting on your chair than being at the table. I think
100.
it's pretty much equal time with throwing and not throwing here, but you have to master both of them. That's why it's such a mental game.
42.
It is, of course, about belief and technique, but the mental aspects with everything to do with this game, they've all got to be strong. And right now, I'm seeing from Niall
58.
a very, very strong mind tonight. He looks fresh. If indeed Niall does win this match, it will
44.
guarantee that match 5 is a shootout between Warburton and Ritchie to see who joins Niall in the semis. But of course, they would not play each other in the semis
45.
because the winner of Group 1 will play the runner-up in Group 2 in semi-final number 1. The winner of Group 2 will play the runner-up from this group.
125.
105 plus is what he's looking for here, but he went 18s first on 202.
56.
I see what he was doing there. He was looking for the 162 with 3 treble 18s to leave tops. There's method in that.
97.
Not too mad.
Now we require 146.
2 treble 19s this time. So he's utilising different parts of the board to his advantage. But in this leg, he has not been able to find
58.
those treble 18s and treble 19s.
Greg, you require 100.
Same plan for Greg. 100 with 3 darts. This time he gets the 60.
80.
But he isn't able to find his favourite double to finish a
Niall,
leg
you require
so far
88.
tonight. He did hit it on approach in leg 1. Double 14. 2 sevens.
81.
The little grunt from Niall Culleton tells you that he's missed.
Greg, you require
That
20.
was a very, very good chance.
Game shot on
The
the
chance has
second
been
leg.
missed, and Greg gets the
Greg
second
Richie.
reprieve. This one is tied at 1-1. And as we go into the middle portion of the game, we may get some better indication as to who the favourite is in this match.
Third leg, it's Greg to throw first. Game on.
It should be Greg because he's got the darts. But darts is not that simple.
55.
You could have easily backed Rafael Nadal to beat Novak Djokovic last night, but that didn't happen.
85.
And if indeed you are choosing to have a little wager on one of the markets available with the Online Darts Live League, please gamble responsibly. Please
96.
remember that it is for 18 and over only. And go to begambleaware.org for more information on that, please.
180.
Maximum in this match from Niall Culleton. And gets himself marginally in front on the Ritchie throw.
40.
That was his first.
58.
Well, he really is going for some very different starts on certain numbers. 19's first on that 236 number. That was a bit lost on me. But maybe what he's trying to do is utilising different parts of the board
135.
to get to the 2-darter, because if he'd got treble 19, single 19, treble 20, he would have left the 2-darter at 100.
138.
Well, it turns out he's left double top anyway, and is looking increasingly likely to get a break of throw here.
85.
He had a
Now
checker
we
percentage of
require
57% in his first match. Double 10.
20.
They could be costly.
Greg, you require 90.
He might go bull first here. But he's gone the safe route. Well, double
Game
15.
shot on the third leg. Greg Richie.
And he has been sharing the hockey a little bit with Darren Beveridge this week. Now, if you weren't able to see what Beveridge did earlier in the week, he did that a lot, where he hit a double inadvertently to leave another double.
To throw first.
Well, as long as the maths is right
Game
and
on.
the execution is right, fair play. It wasn't plan A, but he got in through the side door.
140.
Niall's going to be smarting right now, because right now he will be thinking, why am I not 3-0 up?
140.
I'm actually 2-1 down. And that's because his doubles percentage in this match is 16%. 1 hit from 6 attempts.
60.
Greg's is 50%. But Greg's average is a good 5 less than that of Niall.
57.
What you tend to find in this best of 7 format is the fact that the averages do sometimes lie.
100.
The longer a game is, the more accurate the averages are, in my opinion. And that's why the very elite players,
30.
the Andersons, the Van Gerwens, the Crosses, the Wrights, the Prices, when you put them in a best of 13 set match, that's why they're able to
43.
average 100 over those spells. That's why they're the best. The Online Darts Live League prides itself on bringing you the best
84.
talent that is available.
Now we require
Of course, without a
158.
tour card. That is the parameter. Treble 19.
122.
And a perfect approach from 158. We could well have in this match the tightest contest
65.
of the group phase of the
Niall,
evening.
you require 36.
Double 18.
Game show on the
That could
fourth
be
leg.
one of the best darts he
Niall
throws
Culleton.
tonight, because those flat angle darts that are hitting the board, that was in the way of double 9, and he didn't have much of that bed to aim at. But he has equalised at 2-2 here, and this
Fifth
is
leg,
a
it's
very,
Greg to
very
throw first.
interesting match.
Game on.
If it goes down to a one-leg decider at 3-3, just watch out for some
140.
nerves. Like the nerves that we saw in the 6th leg of match 2 tonight between Jamie Clark and Conan Whitehead.
100.
There was a very key 180 at the back end of that match from Conan. If it wasn't for that, he could have possibly lost that match.
81.
The longer this match goes on, the better it is for Niall,
140.
because his already healthy leg difference in Group 1 is not going to be brought down too much, even if he loses 4-3.
84.
Now, of course, you don't want to take it that far. You don't want to be in the practice room thinking, I don't know if I'm safe.
40.
What he wants is a 3-game gap between this and his semi-final. As for Greg, he might not have such a gap.
96.
Imagine if he wins Group 1. He would play against Mike Warburton in match 5 and then be back in match 7 for the first semi-final. 17s is the play here.
100.
But that is a miracle dart. I really don't know how that got in.
100.
85 left. Tops again.
80.
We didn't see the dart, but we could see
Niall,
the
we
wire
require
get pushed
121.
upwards. Treble 17. Greg Richie looking for his first win
89.
of the week against Niall Culleton.
Greg, you require 20.
He has been living in Niall's pocket this week so far.
Game show on
But
the
with
fifth
that
leg.
shot,
Greg
Greg
Richie.
Richie is now very much the favourite for this match. He will have a couple of opportunities to get his first win against Niall, to make Niall sweat for a few matches at least.
Sixth leg, it's Niall to throw first. Game on.
First time he's been in trouble this evening. He responded well from 2-1 down.
80.
But are things starting to turn? I have to say, when looking at the fixtures for tonight,
54.
I thought that anybody could come through this. No clear favourite whatsoever. It's easy to say that Niall would be the favourite after winning Group A. But a lot has happened since Wednesday afternoon.
140.
The best standard for me was in Group B. The better averages, the better 180 statistics.
180.
But it's all about Saturday night and what you do here. And Greg Richie is performing. It's not his best average of the week, but he's finding something when needed. For someone who was playing his 6th consecutive day,
41.
I think he looks pretty fresh. Ah, the benefit of youth. Spoken by someone who is very much coming to terms with being 42 years of age. He's in again. Absolutely prime 180 there. Because if this doesn't go from Niall, Ritchie is staring at 4-2 and his first 2 points of the night.
57.
The man who's in trouble now
Greg,
is Mike
46.
Warburton. Double top to win 4-2. And that's what he has done. Best leg of the match from Greg Richie and his first win of the week against Niall Culleton. Is he peaking at the right time? Well, you see, his average isn't as good as Niall's, but it didn't have to be because his checkouts were far superior. Early chances missed by Niall really did cost him. We're going to get a first look at Paul Hogan. He's going to come up after the break, and he will be up against Greg Richie's pal, Jamie Clark, playing his second game of the night. Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us on this Saturday night where we've got the Week 3 finals of the Online Darts Live League. We are looking for 3 players to go through to Champions Week in Week 5. And this is our first look at Paul Hogan, the man from Basingstoke, the professional amateur, as he's been coined over the years. Jamie is at the hockey for the second time tonight. But after defeat to Conan Whitehead in match 2, he now needs to get cracking.
Paul to throw first. Game on.
Now, if Jamie Clark
100.
does lose this match, he will be out. He's in a knockout scenario now.
123.
After losing 4-2 to Conan, with the better average of 93 against the man from Kent.
100.
So this is like a traditional tournament now.
125.
Losing, you're gone. Very, very simple. But for Hogan, if he loses, he still has a chance against Conan in match 6.
100.
We do have our permutations for the next match, which is Warby versus Greg Richie. Greg in
60.
command there. He doesn't have to win that next match. But if he wins 3 legs in it, he will top Group 1.
26.
Mike Warburton needs to win by a margin to get through. He needs to win 4-1 or 4-0. So if he lets 2 legs go in the next match, he is out. And there is a lot of love for Warby on social media before tonight began. A lot of people
93.
thinking he was the favourite, including myself. Single 15 to leave tops after 15.
135.
Steady
Jamie
stuff
require 100.
from the man they call Crocodile Dundee. Another double top.
80.
Oh, and he went to try and snag it next to the guide. He
We
had a lot of
40.
open bed to aim at. Purse of the lips from Hogan. And he does not find the 40 points at that visit. So Jamie's getting a bit fortunate here.
Jamie, you require 20.
3 missed starts at double. And that's not what Paul Hogan was doing on Thursday night when he got a fantastic start. One dart left.
No score.
And it's no good.
We require 10.
Pressure is building.
Five.
And Hogan is not up to it. I am very surprised.
Jamie,
and
you
I think
require 20.
Jamie Clark is too. I'm sure he thought that that was leg over. Well, it is
He's
leg
on the
over,
first leg.
but he's taken
Jamie
it.
Clark.
And he's broken Paul Hogan's throat in 19 darts, somewhat unexpectedly. But when you get a gift like that, you've got to take them against very seasoned opponents.
Second leg, it's Jamie to throw first. Game on.
Usually when Paul Hogan gets a good start,
131.
that's a really bad sign for any opponent that night. But if he gets a somewhat scratchy and scrappy start, there is maybe
41.
something you can expose. Yesterday, Jamie Clark got his second victory against Paul Hogan in 2 nights.
100.
And in defeating Paul Hogan in his first match yesterday, he defied 100% of doubles from Paul.
40.
And seems to have his measure.
$60.
Now, of course, the permutations for match 6 between Hogan and Whitehead, we will not know them until the climax of this game.
60.
Unless, of course, Jamie Clark loses. That would ensure that Whitehead and Hogan will be into the semi-finals. They will play for position. So far here, Paul Hogan's only averaging in the 60s.
81.
Everything seems to have got
Jamie require 100.
a little bit lost since those darts missed a double at the end of leg 1.
53.
And Jamie's just plodding on, doing his thing, leaving 60 after 15. And he has a 219-point lead here.
45.
Single 20 in
Jamie
tops.
requires 60.
And this is the ideal situation for him.
Game shown
Right in the corner.
Jamie
He did
Carr.
shield that double top with the single on approach to that double top, but still, with half a bed to aim at, he finds the right bed and he's 2-0 up here. He's got a huge jump on Hoagie.
Third leg, it's Paul to throw first. Game on.
Just imagine if Paul Hogan loses 4 legs to 0.
60.
Talk about a bad start. Now, Hogan did make the finals in week 2
60.
of phase 1. Played against the likes of Barry Bates, Adrian Gray, Robert Thornton and Chaz Barstow. But on that Saturday night,
55.
he did not play well. He finished in 5th position. That was last place in that group. Is it going to happen again?
180.
Because things are getting even worse for him now. The form that he showed on Thursday and yesterday, it seems like a long time ago. He, like Jamie, picked up 10 points in that group.
91.
But has his momentum been stunted by losing 4 legs to 0 in the last game of yesterday's session against Lee Cox?
Jamie
He only averaged 84 to Lee's 92. That will have left him shell-shocked.
105.
And this game so far seems to be doing the same. Jamie Clark has got a minimum of 6 starts
65.
to be 3-0 up. Single 6 for tops.
45.
He will return. What do you do from this position? You just find the 177
139.
and hope.
Jamie
That's
requires
all he
20.
can do. A little scooch to the left. And it was perfectly measured to open up that bed. And hoping wasn't enough for Paul Hogan, because now he has to win 4 straight legs if he is to get his first win of the night in his first match.
Full flag, it's Jamie to throw first. Game on.
The first match for Jamie tonight did not go to plan, but this one, extremely
41.
different. He's only averaging 83.5. That's 10 less than when he lost
41.
against Conan Whitehead. What a strange turn of events. And of course, what he's proving tonight
59.
is that the majority of the time when you have a better head-to-head record against your opponent, that will give you the confidence to get a win. That trend was booked, though,
100.
in our last match, where Greg had lost 3 times to Culleton and finally got his first win of the week in the finals.
134. $81.
Nothing is working. 0 from 6 on doubles. Not a good average. And an opponent that is looking
100.
very much at ease with this task. When this game is over, whatever the result,
59.
Jamie will sit back and
Jamie
wait to see if he's done enough.
167.
But a 4-0 here, that's what dreams are made of.
131.
So is that visit there. With Hogan on 220, he will have taken 131 99 times out of 100. So this is 4-0
Jamie requires 36.
to be in a very comfortable position in Group 2. And it's job done. Jamie Clark has owned Paul Hogan over the last 3 nights. 2 wins on approach to the finals, and then he gets his best win on Saturday night. You see the average of Hogan, pretty forgettable, but Jamie Clark, 83.5, that's what he does most of the time, but it is the leg difference and the points that matter here. We're going to take a short break, but Mike Warburton, he needs to win 4-0 or 4-1 in the next match, otherwise he's out. So stay with us, we'll be back after the break. For joining us once again on Saturday night with Sporty Stuff TV, showing our online darts live league action here in the UK and via the online darts YouTube channel around the world. And we'll now find out our semi-finalists in the next 2 games, but Group 1 first, Ritchie against Warburton. I'm sure it has been communicated to Mike what he needs to do in order to punch his ticket to tonight's semi-finals, to still have a chance of making Champions Week in Week 5. looks a bit puzzled. Well, he shouldn't be puzzled because he knows he has to win by 4 legs to 1 or 4 legs to 0 in this match. If he does not, it will be Greg Richie and Niall Culleton through to the semi-finals. Depending on the result, if Mike doesn't get what he needs,
it's Mike to throw first.
it will be all about
Game on.
where Greg positions himself. He currently is top of the table with 2 points and +2. A win for him in this match. He will win the group.
60.
And he will play in semi-final 1 against the runner-up from Group 2. But we can now confirm
44.
via leg difference, and of course that thumping win just now, is that Jamie Clark is our first semi-finalist. He cannot be caught.
41.
Or to be more accurate, he can't be ousted from the top 2 positions in his group. And it's very simple for Paul Hogan, who has just been thumped by 4 legs to 0.
93.
If he does not win 4-0 against Conan Whitehead, he's out. So very similar situations for Mike Warburton and for Paul Hogan. 2 of the
60.
fancied horses coming into tonight's action. We will have reached the halfway stage of tonight's action post this game, because this is match 5 of 10.
44.
After this, 1 more group game. Then 2 semi-finals after a short break. And then we have the 3rd place playoff in match 9, which is all important. Because if you lose that,
60.
the 4th place player will not come back for Champions Week and not have a crack at that £5,000 prize, which is waiting at the end of week 5. The final match of the night
81.
will signify our weekly champion. And the winner of that match will join Martin Adams and Colin Osborne from their wins over the last fortnight.
59.
15 darts thrown with the darts. And Mike has got every single right to shake his head.
94.
If you think that that visit from Greg Richie was a bit odd, think again. That was very, very clever. Because single 19 and 2 25s equals 69 points, which would have left him 170, but the bullseye gave him something easier. This is one clever dart player.
87.
Leaves 58.
Mike require
Warburton
161.
is being backed into a corner. He might need something like this to get some momentum. Bullseye! Oh, Mike Warburton.
Mike Warburton.
What a haymaker that is. And when Greg Richie leaves the 58, you think that's going to be it. Warburton's going to have to win 4 straight. He still has to win 3 with only 1 loss, but 161, brilliant.
Second leg, it's Greg to throw first. Game on.
What a time to find the biggest finish of the entire week.
100.
And this is match 100 of the week. The biggest finish before that
81.
was 160 from this guy. We also had one from Jamie Clark as well. The next best after that was from Paul Holloway.
140.
Seems a bit puzzled in there, does Warby? Not really sure what is occurring.
60.
The last thing Mike needs right now is further complications.
45.
Now Now, if indeed Mike Warburton does find that 4-1 or 4-0 scoreline,
96.
it will be at the expense of Greg Richie and his place in the next round. Niall Culleton has played his 2 matches in this group.
56.
He's sitting on 2 points and +1, hoping that he's safe. I think he's pretty much there.
140. Greg require 160.
Well, like I said, he's hit it this week. He's looking for another, and he might get it.
Oh, on the second leg.
Fantastic. A
Greg
second
Richie.
160 of the week. And this game is littered with big finishes. We start with a 161, and then he answers with a big hit of his own. And now Warby's got to be perfect or he's out.
Third leg, it's Mike to throw first. Game on.
The finishes he has delivered on double top this week. Greg Richie has been a complete
140.
at double top. Whether it's 2 double tops, 1 double top on the end of a combination, or 3 double tops for a 120, he's found them all. But it has to be emphasised, if you haven't joined us earlier in the week for all of our action, Greg Richie on Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday did not play well. He was really struggling. He finished bottom of Group A, which meant he played in Group C
59.
on Thursday and Friday. He picked up. He found some form. And he's a very different player over the last 3 days.
82.
It just goes to show how resilient he is as a person and a dart player.
58.
Well, after getting a 161 and a 160, what are we going to get next?
$140.
He gets in touch. That 140 puts him 9 points ahead. Every single leg now for Warburton is a final.
100.
Lose a leg, out. Win a leg, same scenario in the next leg. Now, if Mike can get out of this
90.
jam against a buoyant Greg
Mike
Richie,
require
it will be
144.
testament to what he is capable of. Got to go downstairs now.
82.
He picks up a treble.
Greg require 145.
But this is now Greg's first opportunity to eliminate Mike Warburton. And he could. Doesn't get a shot at tops though.
89.
Miss at treble 16, guaranteed that.
Mike
But
requires
word to the wise,
62.
Mike, do not give Greg a shot at 56. Tops.
Game show on the third leg.
How good is
Greg
that?
Warburton.
We haven't had a missed dart at double in this match. And when you think about the context of every leg we've had so far, all 3 of them, the doubling has been absolutely mythical.
Greg to throw first. Game on. $100.
Just needed a few seconds to catch my breath there. That double top.
60.
Absolutely ice cold. He will know his scenario. Mike is the kind of player that likes information.
100.
He doesn't play on ignorance. He plays on knowledge. He will have asked our tournament director,
41.
what do I have to do? And right now it is a case of 2 more. Yet again, leg 4 is a final in itself.
60.
Unfortunately for Mike, he has not turned up in leg 4. He's only found 101 points in 6 darts. He's in trouble.
96.
He's hanging on by his fingertips. He needs errors, and he needs them now.
$57.
I wouldn't really classify that as an error. But for Mike, that could have been a lot worse. He's not going to get on level terms.
60.
And he's not going to tap Greg on the shoulder. He's got 6 darts and 184 to send Mike crashing out of week 3.
$64.
120 is left. A shot he's taken this week already. And I don't think this is the time for 3 double tops.
100.
It depends what he's feeling.
You require 120.
Well, that was a somewhat cagey effort at double
60.
top. He brings the score down to
Mike, you
60,
require
but the last time he was sitting on
144.
something like this and Mike was on a big finish, Mike took it. He doesn't get a shot at double 12, and for the first time in this match, he is going to
96.
have to dodge
Greg, you
elimination
require 60.
darts. 2 at tops.
Game
And
shot
there it
full
is.
flag.
Greg
Greg
Richie
Richie.
is now safe, and so is Niall Culleton. Mike Warburton will play the rest of this match out in the knowledge that he has been eliminated in Group 1.
Fifth leg, it's Mike to throw first. Game on. $140.
Mike will know his fate now, and he has fallen in the finals for the second time. Back in week 3 in phase 1,
140.
he was in 4th position in the finals behind Lee Cox, Colin Osborne and James Richardson after winning Group A that week. It hasn't been
60.
his Saturday night once again, so he will finish his campaign for the week in the next 3 legs at the very most.
140.
It's been great watching him this week, I have to say it. He has massive aspirations for his darts in the coming seasons, and
59.
I really do believe that great things are destined for him. I believe he is a PDC player in the making. And it may not be the last time we see him.
101.
I sincerely hope it isn't. But Greg Richie is now looking for the consolidation of his position at the top of Group 1.
140.
What kind of story would it be if
Greg, you
Richie
require
wins tonight
120.
from the bottom of Group A after Wednesday?
44.
102 for Mike to take
Mike,
the
you
lead in this
require
match.
102.
So he could salvage some pride, of course, by winning against Greg. Double top.
Game
And
shot
that is
the
another
fifth
ton
leg.
plus checkout.
Mike Warburton.
Just gutsy stuff from Mike Warburton. He might just have one more leg to play tonight. And even if he gets 4-2, it won't be enough. But Greg Richie is safe. He's still playing for
Sixth leg, it's
position,
Greg
though.
to throw first. Game on.
If Greg loses 4-2, he will finish his night
100.
in the group on even. And Niall Culleton will be the winner of Group 1. And he will play in the first semi-final. And Greg will play in the second one.
58.
It's conceivable that we might get an all-Scottish semi-final, of course. Could be Ritchie against Jamie Clark, because he's already safe.
57.
And Conan Whitehead is very close to being safe because he gets one leg against Hogan in the next match and he'll be through.
85.
That deficit that Culleton inflicted on Warburton in the first match, that has done the damage.
140.
Ritchie very, very close to equalising this one up and possibly taking us to a 7th leg in a match for the first time tonight.
55.
When you're as passionate about darts as Warby is, you just don't want to stop playing. I know he wants to go home and see his family. He's very close to them all.
44.
But he's very passionate about this game. And I know that he's got a lot of fans out there. By
97.
the time we see him next, he might be back to ranking action.
160.
As tournaments start to return here in the UK. And of course, tournaments have started to return around Europe, which is fantastic to see. But Ritchie, who was looking for his second 160 checkout of the game, that did not go to plan. And that offers an opportunity to Mike to maybe win by 4 legs to 2 if he can convert 206 in 6. If he does that,
41.
all 3 players will be separated
You require 133.
by 2 legs in this group. Double 19, double 19, or the double 18, double top route.
117.
So he is looking at double 8 when he returns. He really is very creative on the finishes. Never a dull moment when Greg is around.
125.
And if Greg misses
Greg
this,
requires
Warby's
60.
in for the win.
Game shown
No
the
miss
6th
though.
leg.
And Greg has got the
Ritchie.
bit between his teeth. Maybe he's thinking, if I can just edge this one, that'll give me extra confidence to think that I might not lose one single game tonight.
7th and final leg, it's Mike to throw first. Game on.
That's the beauty of the finals and this somewhat cutthroat
60.
scenario. Where even if you win half your matches, it's not enough. Every single leg
100.
has been important in this group. If Warburton wins this leg, he will finish
95.
on 2 points and -2. Greg Richie will finish on 2 points and +1. The same position as Niall Culleton. And we will have to check to see about legs 1.
57.
Just totting them up now. Niall has won 6 legs. Greg Richie would have won 7.
180.
So he would top the group. It looks like he's going to top the group. So Greg Richie will win the group. Niall will be second.
81.
So that is now a guarantee. So Greg Richie will play in match 7, which is the first semi-final.
134.
What he might do after defeat, because Mike has played very well in this 7th leg. As to who Greg's opponent will be
57.
in match 7, we will have to wait and see what happens in match 6 first, between Conan and Paul. Double top to finish his campaign.
Game
And that's
shot
him done.
out.
A 15 darter
Greg Warburton.
is his last leg of the entire week. He knows now that he has not done enough, but Warburton goes out with his tail up. A very, very tidy 84 average, as you can see. His checkouts were exceptional, especially in the early parts where he took out that 161, followed by that 160 from Greg, but ultimately it wasn't enough. Paul Hogan now has a huge task ahead of him. He has to win 4-0 against Conan Whitehead to have a chance. That's coming up after the break. Paul Hogan has a very large mountain to climb in this last group game of the evening. He has to win by 4-0, the exact scoreline that was inflicted on him in his last match. And if he doesn't, he goes the same way as Mike Warburton. So Conan, who is the one at risk, of course, if he loses by 4-0, knows that if he gets one leg in this match, he is safe. But if he wins his second match of the night and is the only person to win both games in the group, he will play in semi-final number 2 against Niall Culleton, who finished second in Group 1 on leg difference. Every single person in Group 1 got a win But the leg difference came into play. And indeed,
Okay, first leg, it's Conan to throw.
so
first.
did legs 1.
Game on.
So just to confirm, Greg Richie, top of Group 1 with 2 points and +1 and 7 legs 1. Niall Culleton,
98.
2 points, +1 and 6 legs 1. Mike Warburton, 2 points, -2, eliminated.
100.
Jamie Clark in Group 2, safe. 2 points and +2 from his 2 games. That will not change.
100.
Now, if Conan wins this match, he will top the group. But if he loses the match,
140.
he will finish second in the group. Now, it's not a question
99.
of whether he has a preference on the opponent. He won't care. I've spent enough time with Conan to know that he genuinely does not care who he plays next. He just wants to keep winning, and the more he wins, the more confident he will get.
85.
119 away from eliminating Paul Hogan in the first leg of the match.
123.
Nice lead from Paul.
And you require 119.
This is the first bullet that Paul's got to dodge, and he's already dodged it.
31. All we require is
There was
78.
some supreme finishing in the last match. We could get some more. Double 3. Unexpected.
72.
And now Conan is on something a little easier than 119.
Conan, you require 88.
Double 7.
Game
That's
shot on the
it.
first
Paul
leg.
Hogan has
Conan
been
Whitehead.
eliminated. Just like that. He has lost 5 consecutive legs tonight, and from his position, he can no longer qualify out of Group 2.
Second leg, it's Paul to throw first. Game on.
So Saturday nights have not been kind to him in Phase 1 or Phase 2. But now, the only job
45.
left for Conan, well, in fact, there's 2 jobs. Taking care of one takes care of the other. Win the match. Win the group.
180.
Get yourself a game off to compose yourself for your semi-final. Lose the match, and you'll be on next.
100.
Congratulations to Jamie Clark, who ensures that we have
92.
2 Scottish players in the semi-finals. We will have another Scotsman here next week in the shape of Robert Thornton, and another with Sean MacDonald. Many nations represented next week. Australia with Corinne Hammond. England with Rhys Robinson, Aaron Monk, James Richardson
99.
and Rob Collins. And of course Keelan Kay. Wales with Mark Webster and Richie Burnett, who have been World Cup partners in the past.
60.
Northern Ireland with Kevin Burness.
Conan, you require 130.
Another one of those. Or treble 18. 66 left.
74.
And leaves 56. He's looking too strong, too accurate, and too composed for Paul to handle tonight.
42.
Now, they haven't played each other in an online Darts
Conan,
Live
you
League match.
require 56.
This is their first time. What a time to play him for the first time. Double 18.
40.
He rejects the opportunity of double 9 and leaves double 8 for next time. I think that was a very shrewd move.
54.
So double
Conan,
8
you require
to
60.
double his lead.
Game shot
And
on
as
the
it
second
stands,
leg.
Paul
Conan
Hogan
Whitehead.
is in danger of coming to the Online Darts Live League finals and not winning one single leg. Conan Whitehead is looking to make sure that that is the case.
Third leg, it's Conan to throw first. Game on.
I have to be honest, there haven't been many people that I've met in my life
85.
that are called Conan. He is the only person in real life that I have met called Conan. I saw Conan on the back of Lee Cox's dart shirt yesterday. I think that might have something to do with his family. There is a Conan on the back of his shirt
58.
that is a fictitious character. And of course there is a chat show host called Conan O'Brien in the United States. But that's about as much as I know.
100.
Two more legs, and he will have a very, very tasty looking semi-final ahead of us
140.
with Niall Culleton. And that will ensure that semi-final 1
100.
is a Scottish derby between Greg Richie and Jamie Clark. That's got a very nice look to it.
98.
We are now assured of having all 3 group winners from this week, from A, B and C, in the semis.
100.
Conan won Group C.
120.
Niall won Group A, and Jamie won Group B. Double top for 3-0.
Game shot
It's
on the
in,
third leg.
confirmed by our
Conan
referee Owen
Whitehead.
Binks, who is officiating a lot of matches this week, and he's seen his fair share of 120 checkouts, hasn't he? Hasn't he, Owen? And the 3 tops one wasn't the most dramatic.
Fourth leg, it's Paul to throw first. Game on.
I'm teasing him. He had his birthday this week, did Owen? 24 years of age.
60.
Welcome to the mid-20s. Of course, he called in 120 checkout earlier in the week. Eventually.
75.
Done a fantastic job. And it won't just be me making way for somebody else in my chair for next week. Because Chris
97.
Mason will return as I go to Milton Keynes for the 4th Super Series event with the Professional Darts Corporation next week.
41.
But Owen makes way for Charlie Costafine next week, who will officiate the matches in all 3 groups and the finals.
83.
If Conan finds this leg, it will have been a very forgettable evening for the 58-year-old from Basingstoke.
137.
But you have to say, the finishing tonight in the last couple of legs, or the last couple of games even, it has been
41.
something of very, very high order. Greg Richie, 75% in a loss to Mike Warburton, where he got
45.
80% on doubles. Conan Whitehead, in this game, 75%. In his first game, 80%. This is astounding
100.
finishing from the qualifiers through the groups. He is seeing the outer ring like it's the size of the Isle of Wight.
99. Or we require 120.
Another 120. And it's to get his first leg of the night.
Game show on the fourth leg.
Hey, he's finally
Paul
found
Hogan.
his first leg of the night. And it just had to be 120, didn't it? We've had 2 of them in this match. I think 120 has been the number of the week. I'm going to say that it is.
Conan to throw first. Game on.
Plenty of them conventionally. And one of them rather spectacularly.
60.
You see the relaxed nature of that celebration. He had to wait 8 legs just to get a leg win. Is that going to open the floodgates? It might just do.
180.
Now, if Paul Hogan
100.
does make things awkward over the next 3 legs for Conan Whitehead, does that scupper his chances?
100.
I'll leave that one to you to figure out. You do get the feeling that Conan wants to get this done as soon as possible.
140.
All of a sudden, Paul seems to be finding that 60 more often than he was earlier.
85.
Leaves 136 to get his second leg of the night.
$77.
That is a very, very nice leave.
36.
And he will have a look at that 124.
82.
People of his skill
And you require 100.
should be getting a look at the bullseye. At the least. It is the bull.
99.
And that was his first match start.
Or you require 54.
I'm not sure he's going to get any more in this leg. Well, that nearly bust the shot.
36.
But he does get 2 more match
Only
starts if he
require
finds
25.
the single 9. Double 8.
Game
Very,
shot and
very
the
good
match.
performance.
Conan
And Conan
Whitehead.
Whitehead has won Group 2. Paul Hogan is now eliminated. He only won 1 leg on the night, but it was a very, very good leg. Let's say that. Look at the finishing stats again for Conan Whitehead. Earlier in the evening, he was at 80%. 57% is made to look somewhat pedestrian, but it's good enough. We're going to take a short break now, but when we come back, it's going to be the first semi-final of the night between Greg Richie and his Scottish mate. So it's all Scotland against Jamie Clark after the break. It is semi-final time here at the Online Darts Live League Finals for Week 3. And we're going all Scottish, as the first semi-final involves Greg Richie and his pal Jamie Clark. So let's get down to the board to commence our thought process to see who will get through to Champions Week first tonight. Who do you think is going to get through? Who do I think is going to get through? Well, the fact of the matter is, both of them still can. Whoever wins this match is in the final tonight and will have a chance to be the weekly winner.
Okay, first leg, it's Greg to throw first. Game on.
Whoever loses this match will have to return in match 9 to then play off with the loser of the next semi-final
78.
for the option to return in Week 5. I say the option, and of course they're going to return, because there's big money on offer.
180.
Jamie Clark, who was the runner-up in Group 2 behind Conan Whitehead, was leading that group
77.
going into the final match of the group, but was overtaken via that 4-1 victory for Conan over Paul Hogan.
60.
Now, these two have travelled with Darren Beveridge to the Online Darts Live League on 2 occasions. They're a travelling party.
180.
See our first maximum of the match from Greg.
91.
But things could be very, very different come Week 5, because Darren Beveridge is not in the finals. And if
80.
the loser of this game
Jamie
does not win in match 9, then one of them is going to go all the way down to the Online Darts Live League on their own.
86.
That'll be a new feeling for one of them. Double 16.
54.
And Jamie Clark gets a little look at this 70. Expect some very
70.
nervy misses in this match and the next, as the stakes are raised. Double 16 for him.
Game show on the first leg.
And there was a little
Jamie
bit of
Clark.
come on there from Jamie Clark. I don't mind that whatsoever. But the interesting thing about that was, it seemed like he said it before the dart had even hit the board. He knows his game. And the 6th day he's played this week.
To throw first. Game on.
Break of throw right there. And the more he plays this week, the better he gets.
58.
He had a perfect day on Wednesday, did Jamie. And it got him to 22 points in Group A. The only reason he didn't win Group A
140.
is because his leg difference wasn't as good as Niall Culleton's. He was very, very
60.
useful in Group B.
$28.
Strange thing is, he only had 3 maximums in topping Group B, but his running average of 87.03 was very similar to that of Warburton and Hogan.
43.
The overall standard of that group for me was the best of the week. But of the 3 players that came through, he had the lowest running average, the lowest
57.
amount of 180s, and his checkered percentage was only 37%. But he's starting to hit doubles
100.
under pressure when he's getting chances. It's a very James Wade type of playing the game. Not always playing excellent stuff.
100.
But when you get a chance, take a chance. Best performance of the week from Jamie. Yesterday against Lee Cox, a 101 average. 101.37 to be exact. Winning by 4 legs to 2. That is his only 3-figure average in all of the games he's played.
100. Jamie
To
require
double
100.
his lead. And to consolidate that break of through in leg 1, he needs double 10.
80.
No vocalisation there.
Greg requires 76.
And Greg, who had 2 shots at double 16 to take leg 1, has 1 dart at tops to win leg 2.
36.
He'll be hoping it's not one of those games where he gets a shot in every leg and loses most of the legs.
Jamie, you require 20.
He's a bit more patient on approach to that 7'9¼ hockey.
Game shown the
Use
second
that guide
leg.
really
Jamie
well.
Carr.
He's 2-0 up. And this is not about leg difference. This is now a knockout scenario. So he's halfway to victory, and Greg Richie has got to get cracking here.
Third leg, it's Greg to throw first. Game on.
Greg was always in command against Niall Culleton in his 4-2 victory earlier on tonight.
100.
And he was always in the game with Mike Warburton that he lost in match 5.
100.
That was until, of course, Mike won it in leg 7. The only match tonight that has gone the distance. I'm sure it won't be the last. He's back in the maximum column.
180. $140.
That was his second of the match. The third in total because Jamie has one too.
$100.
If he wants to get his first weekly title, he's got to get a move on.
100. Greg, you require 121.
Might go bull first. A lot of people seem to be doing that these days. And he decides
59.
not to go for 51 and bull with Jamie on
Jamie, you
161.
require
That's a very risky
161.
game. It's a risk that's paid off, though.
99.
He's just got to make
Greg,
sure
you
that
require
this 62 is
62.
taken before Jamie gets the exact same shot. Double top again.
42.
Yet again he misses.
Jamie, you require
Jamie
62.
eyes up this chance to put himself within one leg of the final. Another one of those for 2 16s.
Game shot on the third leg.
Very lethal
Jamie
on
Clark.
the outer ring, and Jamie Clark is making his move. He's staking his claim for a place in Champions Week in Week 5. He is only 501 points away from that.
Fourth leg, it's Jamie to throw first. Game on.
As far as weekly winners are concerned in the 2021 Online Darts Live League, we have had Scott
41.
Marsh in Week 1, Chaz Barstow in Week 2 and Week 8, James Richardson in Week 3, Kevin Burness in Weeks 4 and 5. He is still the only player to go
25.
back-to-back. Jared Cole got Week 6. And Martin Adams, he found a weekly win in Week 7 of Phase 1 and Week 1 of Phase 2. The other one
100.
to win a weekly title was Colin Osborne, a matter of 7 days ago, in what has now been coined Colin Osborne 2.0.
180.
Third maximum of the match for the man
65.
from Musselburgh. He's in danger of me saying that very old phrase of 180s for show, doubles for door. Because
100.
he's had the maximums, he just hasn't hit the outer ring. Jamie is the first
140.
to a finish. Could he win this semi-final by 4 legs to 0? The last match he played,
52.
he won 4-0 against Paul
Jamie
Hogan.
require 155.
He's on a heater. $75 left.
97.
And Greg needs this
Greg, you require
to stay alive in this
144.
semi-final. Otherwise, he may have to rely on the third place playoff.
44. Jamie, you require
Both have
58.
suffered defeat tonight. But this win is to be given an invitation to Champions Week.
$38.
He misses that. And Greg comes back for 100
Greg, you require 100.
for the first brick in the wall. First of 4 bricks he needs.
Game show on the
And
fourth
Greg
leg.
Richie
Greg
gets his
Richie.
first leg. But did you just see in the background there, as soon as that 60 went in, Jamie Clark just nodded his head and said, yep, he's going to hit this. And he was right.
Fifth leg, it's Greg to throw first.
You
Game on.
sensed the nerves on that qualification dart. Now, here's Greg
180.
going to start moving from here.
140. $95.
We have had plenty of examples of people winning from 3-0 down.
41.
Week 2 of Phase 2, which of course was won by Colin Osborne, like I mentioned in the last leg. We had 3 occasions
96.
where a player was 3-0 down and won 4-3. That's exactly what Greg needs to do now.
100. Greg, you require 130.
It was a great 100 checkout in leg 4. He's not going to get the 130, but he doesn't need it at this visit.
65.
That's what he needs when he comes back. Jared Cole, Scott Baker and Andy Jenkins were able to get themselves out of jail
78.
from
Greg,
3-0
you
down
require 65.
last week. Double top again.
45.
And Jamie Clark, who has missed 2
Jamie
darts
require
to get into the final,
142.
is looking to do it in style here.
62.
He has to rely on more misses from Greg.
Greg, you require 20.
This is getting very tense.
Game
And
show on
just
the
a
fifth
little
leg.
bit more tense
Greg
as Greg
Richie.
Richie holds in 16 darts. He's now within 1, and the momentum has shifted in this match. If Greg Richie does find a break here, he will serve it out potentially in leg 7.
Sixth leg, it's Jamie to throw first. Game on.
Just when you
100.
think Jamie was going to win 8 legs in a row after losing to Conan Whitehead in match 2 to find his way into the final,
100.
he's now having to dig really, really deep. Because this is his best
121.
opportunity of winning this match. Imagine if he loses at 4-3. What will that do for his confidence in a third place playoff against
77.
either Conan Whitehead or Niall Culleton, 2 of the other group winners this week? But look at this spirit from Jamie Clark.
180.
A second 180, and what a time to hit it.
$44.
Has he finally broken Greg
Jamie
Richie?
require 100.
I think he might have. Just approach with caution. You can sense the nerves. You can see the nerves.
40.
That is okay for now. Now, 3 times this week, Jamie Clark has bust a score like this by hitting a treble 20 at the wrong time. I sincerely hope I haven't just cursed him, and I hope
96.
it doesn't happen again. But even if he
Jamie
does,
requires 60.
he'll still have another visit. It's a great single for 2 more for the final.
Game
He
shot.
only needs the 1, and Jamie Clark
Clark
is confirmed with an invitation to week 5. His pal will still have 1 more chance to make it, but he has to go through the 3rd place playoff. It was a very good game. You see the averages were very, very tight, but the checkered percentage of Jamie Clark was the key there. 180s for sure, doubles for door. That was the message from that game. We're going to take a short break, but we will be back as the winner of Group A takes on the winner of Group C in the second semi-final to see who joins Jamie in the final. We'll be right back after the break.
Welcome back to our coverage of the Online Darts Live League. Live on
Sporty Stuff TV in the United Kingdom, and of course via the YouTube channel of Online Darts around the world. The second semi-final will now take place to see who plays Jamie Clark for the Week 3 title. Conan Whitehead, who ensured his passage to this semi-final in match 6 with a thumping 4-1 victory over Paul Hogan and an 87 average, hasn't had a great deal of time to wait for this semi-final. But on the flip side of that, his opponent has had to wait a full 4 matches, because Niall, the Irishman, has had to wait since match 3. At that point, he was defeated by Greg Richie, who has now been eliminated from the possibility of winning this week.
Okay, first leg, it's Conan to throw first.
But still can qualify for Champions Week if he wins the playoff, which is after this. So whoever loses this match will stay on the board. It's somewhat the opposite of what you would find down the local.
100.
It's loser stays on. Here's the thing. You do not want to stay on the board. You want to be back in the final with the knowledge that you're already through to Champions Week and still have the chance of being the one at the summit at the end of the week.
134.
The one thing we do know is that whoever does win this weekly title, it will be their first.
100.
There are plenty of candidates next week who are looking to get more than their first. We have some players returning.
97.
One thing I can confirm is that when I return for Week 5 to bring you Champions Week, we will then confirm to you who
95.
some of the players are for
170.
the second batch of matches after Champions Week. There are some great players in there. Just trust
96.
me on that. We've already announced that John O'Shea will be here next week, and Mark Webster will be as well. For me, those two headline.
65. Conan, you require 74.
Conan, who has not done a great deal wrong this week. He has looked incredibly assured. Double 16.
58.
And we'll just have to dodge this number
Niall, you require
that keeps coming up
120.
this week more often than any other number. Double top.
80.
And that one was just a little bit quicker than the other two.
Conan, you require
It still
16.
wasn't far away.
Game shot
Double
on
8 is
first
good
leg.
for Conan.
Conan
And that
Whitehead.
is the first brick in the wall for his challenge to make the final tonight. Best of 7, of course, as it has been throughout. And 17 darts is good enough to take the first leg.
Second leg, it's Niall to throw first. Game on.
Had a chat with Niall a little while ago
41.
in the week. We were talking about his propensity to change his colour of flights and stems. I was questioning with him
77.
whether he was changing the entire setup from one set of darts to another, and were the colours of the flights distinguishing
140.
the different set to the other one. Well, he did confirm to me that he likes a set of darts that aren't too warm.
58.
So he tends to flick between two different sets, but they are exactly the same schematically.
56.
Just two identical sets. Same structure of stem and flight, just a different colour. And he'll flick between the two because he likes them to feel a little bit cooler.
140.
That does remind me of one of my favourite opponents in my career, Stuart Kellett, from the northwest of England, who famously
85.
used to put his darts in the fridge because he liked them to feel like ice. You got to find what works, right?
59.
That works to get to a finish, but it's a very, very big one. Biggest finish of the week now is a 161 from the already eliminated Mike Warburton.
97. Conan, you require 167.
If he finds it, he'll be 2-0 up. Part 1 complete. 88 left.
No, 88.
Good job he checked. He thought it was something different.
99.
And Niall's
I
already missed
require
tops
82.
for a 120. He's going to be on tops again.
62.
And he misses low this time.
Conan, you require
Whitehead.
68.
For a break. Double 16.
Game show
Very,
the
very
second
tiny.
leg.
That has
Conan
been
Whitehead.
a side of his game this week that has been maybe stronger than anybody else. And that's why he is in this position. He is very, very strong. And just like Jamie Clark in the previous
Third leg,
semi,
it's Conan to
2-0
throw
up.
first. Game on.
One of the benefits of seeing so many games in a week and seeing so many players is that you get to know their game and them
85.
personally quite well. I've had a bit of a chance to speak with Conan this week, which has always been a pleasure. He's letting me know that he likes to wear black and white because that's
100.
what he wore at his wedding. He celebrated his wedding anniversary this week. Him and his wife Shirley.
86.
And I've already waxed lyrical about that dart shirt, which I absolutely adore.
100.
It's one of the aspects of the game that I have really missed since I've been going through operations and
60.
rehab. Shirt design. It's a genuine joy when you get the pencil out and you get the software out in your PC.
100.
Start looking at designs. You've got to earn those shirts, though. You shouldn't really have a dart shirt unless you earn it, in my opinion.
100.
Always nice to have. But right now, I'd have to say this one from Conan is the best one he's ever designed. And the way he's playing darts,
100.
he's
Conan,
going
you require
to be playing
170.
a lot more in this shirt. Another. For the bull.
Game
Whoosh!
show on the third
In she
leg.
goes. We
Conan
have the big
Whitehead.
fish finally. And we've had to wait a very, very long time for it. The 103rd match of the week of 105. And we finally get the 170.
Fourth leg, it's Niall to throw first. Game
Well,
on.
that was a little bit of expelling the adrenaline. And even with Conan's experience, even he still gets a kick out of a big finish like that. Look
100.
at that smile that it created. He has replicated what Jamie Clark did
85.
in his semi-final by taking a 3-0 lead now. However, he does not want to lose the next two like Jamie did.
140.
The winner of Group C in command against the winner of Group A.
100.
I said it would be a bit of a heavyweight clash. But that last finish was proof that Conan has really been hitting those finishes this
140.
week.
Yes. 77.
Again, he finds the 54 on the switch. He's been Dennis Priestley-esque over there. Culleton is starting to play fast. Fast and effective. Well, it's 121
Niall
checker for a
Culleton.
12 darter. And that 170 has woken Niall Culleton up to a different level. So, we're repeating what we did in the previous semi-final. If that's the case, Culleton wins this leg.
Game on.
It is somewhat different, though, because I'm pretty sure
140.
Greg Richie, the person behind at this point in that semi-final, had the darts here.
100.
And Conan has not missed match darts, which Jamie had at this point. He wants to get this done.
100.
Earlier in the week, he did ask to use my massage gun because he did have a little bit of discomfort in his
140.
front deltoid, in his throwing arm. If he wins tonight, the invoice is in the mail, Conan.
47.
I'm only kidding. Like I would ever charge for that. Always happy to help my fellow pros if I can. Whether it's a tip
55.
or something like that. But Conan really has turned up this week.
$93.
Again on that 54. He's owned that section of the board this week. And what's really odd about this game
44.
is the fact that Conan is 3-1 up and throwing now for the match, and his average is a good 7 less.
Conan, you
than
require
Niall's.
121.
Surely something to do with that 12 darter that Niall delivered in the last leg. But Niall is tapping his head as if to say, why did I leave 162 again? If he's got any
89.
chance in this match, he's going to have to dodge quite a lot of doubles. And I just do not see Conan missing that 32. Looks like Niall is going to be
88.
staying on the board to face
then
Greg
you
Richie
require
for a place in
32.
week 5. For the final, he's going to have to find a wonder dart from the wall. It's the old Pink Floyd dart. Oh, he's deciding to go the other side, is he? Does he like the angle? Yes, he does. Oh, that's a shot. We saw a shot from Dave Parletti earlier in the week, which was arguably the dart of the week. But that one, I think, in these circumstances, was a little bit better. Conan is through to the final. 88.29, you see the disparity in the averages there. But that means absolutely nothing, because it's going to be between Jamie Clark and Conan Whitehead for the Week 3 title here in Phase 2. As far as Niall Culleton's concerned, he has to stay on the board because he now has a very important match. If he can beat Greg Richie, he will remain in contention for the £5,000. That will come after the break. Hello and welcome back to our action here at the Online Darts Live League. And it's time for a third place playoff. We have our finalists. Conan Whitehead will take on Jamie Clark for the Week 3 title. But as far as these two are concerned, they've had very different weeks.
Okay, first leg it's Greg to throw first.
It all comes down to this best of 7 leg match though, where Greg Richie has won the bullseye in the practice room to have the honour. The winner of the match
100
will be invited back to Champions Week to have a chance at the £5,000 prize.
100.
The loser of this match is out. They will not have that opportunity. There is a lot on the line here. Niall Culleton won Group A this week.
85.
He was always strong. But Greg Richie has had a very, very tumultuous 6 days. Only picking up a couple of wins the first 3 days of the week.
140.
But then turned things around in Group C. And to be in this position, considering where he was on Wednesday afternoon,
140.
is a mark of what kind of a person he is and what kind of a dart player he is. These two have already played each other tonight.
Yep.
They did so in match number 3.
34.
That was a win of 4-2 by Greg
86.
Richie. Another result like that, and he'll be back in week 5. Bull first than 86.
67.
He really is different. You don't see that very often these days.
46.
Especially when your opponent's on a finish.
Oh, you're 142.
Well, Greg on tops with 3 darts in hand. Yeah, I don't think that's a very good plan, Niall.
57.
I would stop Greg from doing this if I were you. Because even if he misses tops, he's been good at 10s. Have I just put the hex on him?
30.
Maybe I have. And Niall can pounce.
Niall, you require 85.
He only got 1 leg in his semi-final. And it was on a 121 checkout. Can he find the bull?
60.
It wasn't far off.
Greg, you require 10.
But it wasn't close enough. Double 5.
Game shot on the first
And
leg.
it goes. Greg Richie
Ritchie
does take advantage of winning that bullseye. And he gets the early hold. So now he can attack the Niall Culleton throw to try and open up a 2-leg gap.
Second leg, it's Niall to throw first. Game on.
The funny thing about that 4-2 victory earlier for Greg over Niall is that that was the first time he'd beaten him this week.
180.
He'd lost 3 from 3 in Group A against this guy.
60.
It just goes to show whatever he is up against, he seems to have the tenacity to fight back.
81.
We have word now that Conan Whitehead has won the bullseye for the final, so he will throw in the odd-numbered legs. What we do during the week is give the players equal opportunities of starting first. There are no bullseye shootouts in the back.
54.
But during the semi-finals and final, it's only prudent to let them earn their way to start the match.
134. $100.
Just try and digest this statistic. After Wednesday, Niall Culleton had 22 points. Greg had 4.
95. Niall, you require
18
86.
points difference. 9 wins between them. 9 different victories. Double 4.
82.
And Ritchie will only steal if he finds another big out. He's had a couple of 160s this week.
54.
And he's had one of them tonight.
$98. Niall, you require 4.
Double 2.
Game show on the second
In
leg.
it goes.
Niall Culleton.
And we have had quite a few victories tonight by some distance. But I just get the feeling that this one is not going to be like that. This is probably the most important match of the night.
It's Greg to throw first. Game
Depends how you look at it. I know there are Niall Culleton fans out there. I know there are Greg Richie fans out there. But in relation to
60.
having a chance at that big prize in week 5, this is cutthroat.
100.
It's I will be there or I will not be there. That's simple.
$81.
When it came to week 1, it was James Richardson who missed out in this playoff. Last week, it was Rob Collins that missed
137.
out to Jared Cole. In a funny sort of way, there is less pressure on the finalists because they know they're coming
100.
back. I suppose it depends on how much pressure they put on themselves in
100.
relation to being the title winner of the week. It's whoever holds that big check at the end of it. They're the ones that are going to be
100.
remembered.
Now you require 100.
And we have had the news, of course, that after week 5, when our first Champion of Champions is crowned, when we do it again after that,
92.
the prize fund is going to be
You
bigger.
require 160.
He's had 2 this week. He's not going to get a third right here. He's starting to fall behind to Niall, who is getting a hold of this game,
100.
but only if he finds
Now you
this.
require 72.
Double 12.
Game show on the third
Clean
leg.
as you like.
Niall Culleton.
Takes the lead after losing the first leg somewhat convincingly. He has now taken the lead with the last 2 legs in a row, and he's now in charge.
Fourth leg, it's Niall to throw first. Game on. $79.
Who did you think was going to win when our action started at 10 p.m.
91.
on Saturday night? I thought it was very hard to call. I went for Mike Warburton. I was wrong.
140.
But then again, earlier in the week, I said that Robert Owen would have a good week, and he withdrew on Tuesday. So don't listen to me. Just watch the action and
180.
enjoy. He has been getting a fair few 180s tonight, has
100.
Greg from Musselburgh. Whatever happens,
78.
you have to admire the way that he has been grinding over the last 2 or 3 days. He's done Scottish darts proud.
100.
He's got that
You
Robert
require
Thornton quality.
152.
Well, you just can't get rid of him. He can't get rid of the 152.
75.
And if this 82 is found by Niall,
82.
he's a huge favourite. Well, that is a lucky small number because now he has 69, which is single for bull. Double 6. Confirmed by the referee.
Game show
And it is
3-1
3-1 to Niall Culleton. And maybe that loss to Greg Richie a little bit earlier tonight was a bit of a blip. It didn't stop him from getting to the last 4. And he is recovering really well and is now one leg away
Fifth leg,
from
it's
Champions
Greg to
Week.
throw first. Game on.
If he finds one more leg, Jamie Clark is going to be coming down to the Online Darts
93.
Live League on his own and without a Scottish friend for the first time.
100.
But then again, he did say to me after Thursday that it was a bit weird that he was playing in a group without Greg and without Darren.
58.
But when he played in a group without Darren and Greg, he played better. So is there something in that?
93.
Is he focusing more without his pals around him? That's something we can possibly survey in week 5, if indeed Greg is eliminated.
100.
Niall should go 18s first here. Can't leave a finish now.
58.
Got to find 3 legs in a row
100.
against an opponent who's just done that.
$140.
Considering how
Greg
Niall's
McGuire,
evening has gone,
150.
you have to pay tribute to him because he won his first match. And Greg will be gone
90.
if
Niall, you
Niall
require
finishes 110.
110.
He won his first match. He lost his next 2.
$40.
He will hope he's not going
Greg,
to
you
lose his
require
third
60.
tonight. But double top will keep us going in this match. Still tops. Just creates a little bit more room to the right.
40.
And this is now match point for Niall Culleton.
Niall, you require 70.
Your invitation is here. Do you want it? Double top.
Game
Job
shot
done.
match.
Greg Richie
Niall
will have to
Culleton.
go back to Scotland tomorrow and he will stay there. He will not return. And Jamie Clark is going to be coming back in week 5 without his pals. But Niall Culleton is going to be in week 5 as well. The Group A winner has done just about enough. You see his average was 91.85. A very impressive display considering the pressure. And 67% on doubles as well. Very, very impressive from him. So well done to Niall for getting through to week 5. We have 2 others who are also there. But one of them is going to be the weekly champion. Will it be Jamie Clark or will it be Conan Whitehead? You'll find out when we come back. One match left for the week, and we thank you for your company on Sporty Stuff TV here in the UK, and of course on the Online Darts YouTube channel. We will crown a Week 3 champion after this best of 7 match, where Conan Whitehead will throw first after winning the bull in the back. Looks like a man on a mission to me, and he's going to feel like this is his to lose, because throughout the course of the night, Conan Whitehead is the only player to be undefeated. Jamie Clark lost his only match.
Okay, first leg, it's Conan
guess
to throw
who?
first. Game on.
You guessed it. It was to Conan. That was their first meeting since April. And even when they played in April, Conan won those two as well.
81.
So the sequence of results are 4-1, 4-2, and 4-2. But every time they play, Conan
58.
is not troubled. All three of those results have brought us to this point.
81.
The first two results, of course, were group games. The third one tonight was paramount
100.
for two reasons. One, for Conan to win the group, to start his challenge. But two, for Jamie Clark to get 2 legs from it,
100.
which allowed him to have a better leg difference and a more comfortable path to the semi-finals, where he defeated
81.
his friend Greg Richie, who has been eliminated now by Niall Culleton. So Jamie now knows that when he comes back for Champions Week in Week 5,
93.
to take on the likes of Osborne, Adams, Marsh, Barstow, Jared Cole, Joe Davis,
58.
Conan.
146.
Again, he'll be down here on his own.
90.
And will he be back against Conan, having lost to him 4 times? Or will he be back in Week 5 after being
60.
the weekly champion?
Conan, you require 56.
Single 20 for double 18.
$38.
Not to his liking.
Jamie, you require 144.
Jamie's not going to scare the 144.
46. Conan, you require 18.
He's going to split this because double 4 is right next to his favourite.
Game show on the first leg. Conan Whitehead.
Although maybe double 4's his favourite, because every time he seems to go into that section of the board, he takes it with 1 dart. Very, very good indeed. The first brick in the wall, as you said already tonight.
Second
3 more
leg,
to go.
Jamie to throw first. Game on.
Conan was telling me earlier he was planning on having a little bit of a nap in preparation for
140.
tonight's late darts. He was going to get an hour's sleep before coming to the arena.
121.
That was around about the time we had the devastating incident with Christian Eriksen in Denmark, and I think everybody was cancelling their plans at that
100.
point in the evening and just wishing all the very best to Christian. And it's just great to see that he has been stabilised
135.
by the courage and, of course, the know-how and the bravery of the likes of the Denmark
43.
captain, Simon Kjær, and the medical staff in Copenhagen, who should all be praised after what was an absolutely terrifying situation where everybody who's involved in
43.
sport today has had a giant dose of realization about what's important. Life is short. So enjoy everything you get.
96.
Conan is enjoying himself tonight. He doesn't even know what defeat tastes like.
86.
That is a nice leave
Jamie require 122.
after a bad first 2 darts. And he's going to get a look at this 116. It's the kind of finish that he relishes. Look at that little reaction
44.
there.
Conan, you require 160.
420s for a shot at that double 18 again. In it comes.
88.
He can't believe he's at double 4. Even when he doesn't want double 4, he hits
Jamie
it.
requires 78.
That's how good he is at it. Double 12. And you feel he might need this to stay in this final. He really, really wants this. Double 6.
Game shot on the
he
second
fancies
leg.
it all right. And that is a
Jamie Clark.
really good find from Jamie Clark, because if he misses that, I do not envisage Conan Whitehead missing double 14 or indeed letting a 2-0 lead go.
Third leg, it's Conan to throw first. Game on.
Mentioned earlier about there not being that many Conans around. Well, he does live in the southeast of England. If he lived any closer to France, it'd be Conan. Makes him sound like a
85.
thespian. If he lived in Scotland, he'd be Conan Whitehead. Look at this for a leg. 125, followed by a 140. Could be 2-1 up.
60.
He'll take 2-1.
$94.
Again on that treble 18, he has bossed it. I don't think anybody has had the hit ratio of that
60.
treble 18 like Conan Whitehead in any of the games, or indeed the players throughout the entire Online Darts Live League in 2021.
94.
And he's in again. He could hit that treble 18 with his eyes closed and throwing from behind his back.
98.
He's got it on speed dial.
48.
Just a shame that you can't set up a double with treble 18 on this one here. He doesn't need it.
32.
No great dramas, but he is missing doubles in this final at a rate that he hasn't been doing tonight so far.
112.
That treble 18 is getting a black eye.
60. Game shot.
Double 8 is good, and it's 2-1.
Conan Whitehead.
It could well have been 3-0, but Jamie Clark has to be really, really offensive here now, because if he doesn't find good legs from here, Conan Whitehead, who has the darts and the odd-numbered legs, will be winning this match.
Game on.
Don't forget that there is a contest via Online Darts to win this dartboard, which will be signed by all the finalists, the referee, and everybody involved.
95.
So watch out for their social channels at Darts Live League, and of course the official Online Darts Twitter page.
57.
Watch out for that competition in the coming days.
$60.
We have only had one game go the distance tonight. That did involve
100.
Warburton and Greg Richie. It was a win for Warby. That was a little bit too late. He was already defeated by the time he got that win.
100.
Are we going the distance in the final as well? Treble 18 at the double again. They've hit it so well in this final that they should be there all the time.
28. Jamie requires
Both averages
76.
are in the mid-80 range. It's not really about the averages right now. It's about getting shots at double.
56.
And Conan's not going to get one if Jamie takes double 10 when he returns. When he has thrown first, he has been strong. Leg 2,
58.
he had his chance and missed it.
Jamie require 20.
Double 10.
Game shot on the 4th leg.
Very assured.
Jamie
now,
Clark.
Jamie has to start making his move now because the 2 legs he has won, he has done so on his own throw. He has not troubled Conan on his throw yet.
5th leg, it's Conan to throw first.
If he
Game
can
on.
in leg 5, he will then throw for the match in leg 6. This is the perfect time
83.
to accelerate. He did show little signs of nerves at the back end of that semi-final against his friend Greg Richie. He missed a couple of darts for the match
85.
to win 4-0, and he ended up winning it 4-2. This game is a lot tighter than that. He doesn't have as much room to work with.
180.
And Conan is in for his first maximum in the 5th leg. Again,
100.
protecting his throw with really good scoring in the first 6.
$60.
He throws those darts so hard sometimes that even the guide darts just above the 60 can't handle it. He's got to hit the dart square on in the middle,
100.
otherwise the bounce off the dart is too much. It'll bounce away from the treble.
140.
But sometimes he gets it perfect, just like there. I think he might back himself with 2 darts at double 16.
140. Conan, you require 38.
But is he wanting 3 at double 19? That is a very, very good shot.
Conan
Because that was a
Whitehead.
change of tactic from Conan, and that was something to do with the fact that Jamie Clark was making an assault on his throw. So having 3 darts at double was what he wanted, and he only did need the 2 in the end.
It's Jamie to throw first. Game on.
That may be one of the best darts he has thrown this week. Because if that was too high, he'd had 1 dart in hand that he could not use,
100.
and he could have been broken. So the situation told us that double 19 was absolutely millimetre perfect. Speaking of millimetre perfect,
180.
a second 180 of the match, and Conan is very, very close
41.
to being a weekly champion for the first time here at the Online Darts Live League. And I'm not going to say he doesn't deserve it, because over the last couple of days, he has shown us what he can do.
41.
But the scary thing is, there's still more in the tank.
140.
He can have a week off and then come back fully practiced, having played this week as well. He will be a threat for that big check in Champions Week. That's a big slip from Jamie. That was a tired visit. And Whitehead has got to jump all over that. And will.
140.
Fabulously done. As soon as Jamie hit that 26, Conan was thinking, 2 trebles and you're in command. Well, he is.
140.
He's possibly 2 darts away
Conan, you require
from getting his
80.
first weekly title here. Now it's 25 in bull. Now it's nothing. And Jamie Clark is in the background, taking a sip of water, getting ready to equalise this match at 3-3.
30.
Nobody has had a match
54.
start yet. To save the match.
Game show on the 6th leg.
Doesn't need asking twice.
Jamie Clark.
And for the second time tonight, we are going to the 7th leg. This is one of the best matches we've seen tonight. And a one-leg shootout will give us our weekly champion in week 3.
7th and final leg, it's Conan to throw first. Game on.
104.9 matches have taken place this week.
56.
This is the last 0.1% of our week.
95.
We have seen 6 holes of throw.
140.
Conan gets the first 2 treble visit to stay in command on his own throw. Is winning that bullseye in the
93.
back going to be the separator? 18's first is a prudent plan.
39.
That one spikes. Really vertical dart there. And I was thinking that maybe the 19s was the shot because 57 would have left him on 205.
59.
Actually, it would have been 210.
134.
But that is what he should have done the previous visit. Does he want to finish the week with a Hollywood-style finish? 2 bulls for double 16 would be some way to finish the week. And he's under pressure to hit this. Now he's got 116 left. Jamie Clark has bided his time to get a chance.
74.
He has not defeated Conan Whitehead
Jamie
before.
require 140.
3 defeats. But this one is for the weekly win. Tops.
79.
And he's pulled it into the 5. So we are going to have a situation where both will get a dart to win the
Conan,
week.
you require 58.
There is nothing that Jamie can do from here apart from watch Conan go for tops. And he gets 2.
18.
And they both wire the double. Such drama.
Jamie, you require 35.
Jamie Clark should be sitting on 3 darts at double, but after pulling his last dart into the single 5, he has to approach it first. 2 at double 16 to be the week 3 winner.
19.
And it's 3 match darts he's missed. And Whitehead returns somewhat
Conan, you
fortuitously
require 40.
to get the job done after a dramatic last leg shootout. He takes a breath in.
Game
But
shot
it's
and
match start number 4
Conan
that
Whitehead.
sinks the Scottish man from the southeast of Scotland. He did a valiant thing by trying to oust the man who had beaten him 3 times before, but he couldn't do it. He couldn't find the form in that final leg to break him finally. But it was a dramatic final, a thoroughly enjoyable win, and Conan Whitehead is your week 3 champion. He's done a fabulous job over the last 3 days, and I think that is thoroughly deserved. But he had to get a bit lucky. We're going to get a word with Conan Whitehead right now as we go down to the board with Phil Bars. He will have a word with our week 3 champion. This is Paul the Asset Nicholson. I have been privileged to bring all of this to you over the last 6 days. I will take a break next week as Chris Mason comes back into the chair. He will mention everything that you need to see and everything that you want to know about week 4 players and, of course, all the fixtures, they will be released in the coming hours. But Phil Bars will get a word with your champion, Conan, down at the board anytime soon. Thank you for joining us, and I look forward to seeing you sometime in the near future. Take care.
Conan, just sum up your emotions for us right now.
I said in the interview earlier, I said you ain't seen the best of me yet, but this week, well, say I didn't feel my A game Thursday, Friday, but today I felt good.
What was it like in here? You missed a match start, and then you had to watch Jamie throw for the match, and he missed. What's going through your mind?
Well, generally I thought I'd lost the game, but to be fair, I think Jamie probably felt the same before, the leg before, so it was nip and tuck, and it wasn't an amazing game, but I think the nerve showed it. So
the 170 in the semi-final as well, and the dart from somewhere in the next county, you probably were the man to beat across the whole day.
Yeah, like I said to you earlier, I felt good today. So today I was going to show what I could do. The averages doesn't show that, but the 170 I knew was in the minute it left my hand, and the same as the double. As soon as it left my hand, I knew I'd slipped it in. But yeah, I didn't think that top hole was in at the end though. I thought I'd snatched it, but I'll take it.
And more importantly, you are now into Champions Week as well, where you get to play for the big prize money. What's your thoughts on the prize money? Because there hasn't been a lot going on in darts recently.
No, there hasn't. But yeah, bring it on.
Conan, congratulations as always, mate. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining us here on Sporty Stuff TV and the Online Darts YouTube channel. We'll be back 9:30 on Monday for Group 4, the last week to get into Champions Week. Thank you very much.